Here I am, and there you are. There I am, and here you are. Sending you peace, power, love, wisdom, good health, intelligence, understanding, prosperity, happiness, victory, sincerity, love in all your ways and doing. Now, my verse for today, the Bible verse, Psalms 22:20. Deliver my soul from the sword, my darling from the power of the dog. Again, Psalms 22:20. Deliver my soul from the sword, my darling from the power of the dog. Now, my topic today is really about interracial relationship. Reading Numbers chapter 12, verse 1. And Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman whom he had married, for he had married an Ethiopian woman. Now that shows that Moses' bloodline is black because he married an Ethiopian woman. But there was tribalism. That Moses was white and his wife was black. There was tribalism. Even today, you have Fulani against Yoruba or Igbo and different other tribes in Africa. They could live right next to each other, but because they are different tribes, they do not want to marry each other. And that was tribalism between the Hamitic people and the Semitic, the brownish, they were blacks, that's the same. And now, the interesting thing about Miriam, because she spoke out against the marriage of Moses and the Ethiopian woman. So, if you read further in Numbers, the Lord struck her with leprosy. And it said, verse 10, chapter 12, and the Lord and the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous. She was white as snow. Now the white skin, in verse 12, the white skin is like one that is dead, whose flesh is half consumed. In verse 12, it said, let her not be as one dead, of whom the flesh is half consumed, when he cometh out of his mother's womb. And babies, the blackest of babies, comes out very pale many times. And sometimes the mother thinks that is a white baby. Flesh is not developed yet. It's not fully alive even as a human being. It's a human being, but it's not developed. And you can also see that the Lord, in this instance, was a man, because in verse 12 and verse 5, chapter 12, and the Lord came down in the pillar of the cloud and stood in the door of the tabernacle. He stood, got his feet to stand in the door of the tabernacle, and called Aaron and Miriam, and he spoke to them. He called them, and they both came forth. So he stood, he spoke, he heard, and he became angry. Now, as far as Miriam first became white and looked like this one dead, whose flesh is half consumed when it became showed itself to be white. Now, there's about intermarriage, and in America, is black immigrants from Africa to Caribbean more apt to intermarry with whites than black Americans, African Americans. African Americans, we frown upon that. Even though as African Americans, to say this, we are like the United States of Africa. So many different tribes in our bloodline from different parts of Africa coming mingling together. But I declare that our the base of us is Mizraim, from the land that's now called Egypt. And we did, as Mizraim, we did scatter to other parts of Africa during the Persian invasion, and other white people invaded Kemet. So going back to the subject of interracial relationship, I heard in a video an African woman, a black woman from Zambia, who went to the Netherlands. She said she fell in love with a Dutchman. So now she is crying because after 8.5 years, she loved her job. She had to quit, but they were so prejudiced against her, calling her the N-word and different names. And so she's complaining in the video. But that was her mistake. She had to pull her own red wagon. She had to pull her own red wagon. And there was another woman in the video, a black woman, maybe from Kenya, maybe from Kenya. Of course, it is popular for Kenyan women to actually seek out white men. And so she had this 72-year-old man pulling his clothes, pulling him, and complaining in public that he was cheating on her. She claimed he was her husband. She was much younger than he was. She may have been 30, but she was much younger than him. Well, she tried to embarrass him, but she ended up just embarrassing herself. She ended up embarrassing her own self more than him. So the truth is being explain now. You know who those people are. Whose skin is like one dead, half consumed. But seeing, they see not. The educational system look like making them more brainwashed. They are more apt to marry Caucasian. That's why the lower class, what so-called lower class, not the lower class, but they call them the lower class, who are more, seem to be more poor. I said the base, the root class, is preserving our soul. Like in the rural area in the South, where there was not so much intermixing, they are preserving our very soul in those holiness Pentecostal church, preserving our very soul. And so, as I end with this, let your mind be open to the truth that miscegenation is a sin. They changed the laws against miscegenation the same as they changed it against homosexuality. Both that is an abomination. I say they're both an abomination.